Hey, what's up, guys? S3EP03 here. It's another week and it's another show. Hey, yo, Kaizer Chiefs. Where's the leadership? Let's go.
That's how it goes?
They keep asking about the best when they know it's me.
Okay.
Asking about the rest when they know it's me.
Straight in, I guess.
You know it's me.
Kaizer Chiefs picked up their second loss in the league this past weekend against TS Galaxy. Have to say, C. Dramovic outclassed Molefi Ntseki in every single way. But the big talking point was at the end of the game. Fans throwing stuff at Molefi Ntseki in the same way that they did with Atazwane. Let me first start off by saying that is wrong. Like, I do not condone that. And for me, when fans do that, especially Kaizer Chiefs fans, it was Steve Compella, it was Atazwane, and now Molefi Ntseki. There's a bit of entitlement that Chiefs have, or Chiefs fans have, in terms of having to win. But, this is a but for me. And the but is, how naive can this management be? Like, I can't believe this management did not see it coming. Like, did they really not see this coming in terms of this was what was going to happen? Chiefs fans never bought into the fact that Molefi Ntseki was being appointed. And I don't care who says what. That was not plan A from Chiefs. They can try spin it however they wanted. This is what they wanted to do. But Molefi Ntseki was not plan A. So they've gone that route. And I have to say, you don't even need to give me 10 games. You don't even need to give me 15 games. Based off the evidence that I saw this past weekend, these teams are going to finish above Kaizer Chiefs. Mamelodi Sundowns, obvious. I mean, it's obvious. Orlando Pirates, SuperSport United, Cape Town City. I've thrown in Stellenbosch. As a maybe, but I really do think that they can finish above them. And Mokoena United, watch out for them. Really watch out for them. And that would leave Chiefs finishing around 7th or 8th. And you know what will happen? I think this management is going to part ways with Molefi Ntseki at some point and possibly give the job to Dylan Shepherd, right? Because that was the plan. They make emotional decisions, and that's the leadership that's at the top. So not only is there no leadership on the bench, unfortunately, there is no leadership in the boardroom at all. And you know what, management? This is what happens when you give an amateur a Ferrari to drive. Broadcasting for over a decade, a legendary presenter, and you won't believe the role he's played in Sundowns head coach, Mokoena.
Another week, and this time we have another big guest, guys. Over a decade in broadcasting, a legendary presenter, in my opinion, the chairman of Joburg Post. Welcome, Walter Mokoena. How are you,
Shakes.
sir?
Fine, thanks. How are you? Nice to connect with you.
No, it's always a pleasure, man. There's one question that everybody's asking. I'm asking myself, where have you been? Like, what have you been up to?
Well, I've been around. Took a few, let's call it off ramps, in a sense that I spent 2 years in a political office where I was the special advisor to the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture, the then Minister Osmati Mteto. I spent 2 years there, and I left the office in 2021, so I just took a bit of a break. If you analyze it properly, I just left mainstream broadcasting to work in a political office, but in the same field, which is sport.
Yeah, no, definitely. So was the reason being because you had to serve the country? That's why you had to leave mainstream broadcasting. And when was the last time you were on mainstream broadcasting? You are?
Do I even remember? I think it was on SABC Sport between 2016 and 2017. Yeah, I think I left towards the end of 2017. And then 2018, I was busy with other tech projects that I will talk about them. And then 2019, I got the call to serve the country, as you say. It was an absolute honor and a privilege to go out and serve your people in the area that I know very well, sport, arts and culture. So for me, I never felt like actually I'd been away, to tell you the honest truth.
I see. I see. Wow, man, I can tell you something for us as viewers. It felt like you've been away for quite some time. And of course, you're serving the nation. I've always wanted to ask you this for someone who's been around and obviously you took a space away from broadcasting. How would you rate broadcasting in South Africa today? Well, sports broadcasting today in South Africa.
It's it's difficult to to say, because I never want to compare eras and generations, because I believe every generation must have its own heroes, and there's a lot of good. I think the new media sphere ecosystem, what you would call the social media and its related advantages, have sort of added something to it. But obviously there's been some changes in the craft. Maybe you don't see the real perfection of the craft like you've seen before. So yeah, there's been changes. Whether the changes are good or bad, I don't know. But what I do know that is that and also there's a proliferation of many platforms, and everyone can create a platform today and be an expert on the subject and have lots of followers. Whereas before you needed to you needed to get into a big powerful platform, and you commanded respect on those bases. So I don't have a definitive answer on that. I think it's a question of different opinions on the matter. Different stroke for different folks, I guess, in this case. But there is some good, yes. Yeah, for sure.
No, man, I totally agree. And before I jump onto the football, people will be killing me if I don't ask this. Will we ever see you on our screens again, man?
Well, you're seeing me now. I'm on your screen now.
Well, I was talking about the TV screen.
Well, the screens are different now. We are living in a split screen. We are living in a mobile screen. We are living on a many screen. So the linear screen is no longer dominating the space. So the viewers are seeing me on the screen, on your show, and that is the new game in town, isn't it?
Listen, man, you said you took a break away within 2018, 2017, and I have to say, moving on to football, since then till now, Mamelodi Sundowns have been killing it, man. They're winning leagues every single season. Seems like nobody can compete. When you watch that, what do you think it's down to? Is it money? Is it the fact that they've got coaching? There's a plan? How do you see it from your lens?
Well, first, let me talk about my connection to the current Sundowns technical, let's say, ecosystem. I'm very proud of what Rulani Mokoena is doing there.
Yeah.
Because, in fact, I'm the person who took him to Sundowns in around, I think, 2012.
Wow.
So Rulani, we used to work together. I think we met around 2010. In fact, 2009, we met around there. He was still coaching the under-19 of Platinum Stars. And I'd gone there. I watched a player called Dino Ndlovu, who I would later take to on trial to Lille in France in those days. We had a fight with Rulani. That's our first contact. And then later on, we kept contact. And when Silver Stars was bought to become Platinum Stars, he wasn't kept, so he was available, and I brought him into my scouting business, Complete Footballers, which at the time we were managing professional footballers, because I thought he had something special. And then in 2010, when the World Cup before it started, Italy national team needed a friendly game. And, the league was closed then.
Yeah.
So we got all the players that were under management. We combined them with others. I phoned Rula and I said, listen, young man, come and coach this team. And, and he went there. They played a friendly against Italy. He rubbed shoulders with the likes of Marcello Lippi and all the world champions is Italy with the defending champions. And afterwards, he gave me a technical report. And I thought, wow, this is, I didn't need this. He says, no. This is how I work. I thought, wow, this youngster has got talent and he's doing very well. I think it's a combination of many things at Sundowns. I think the prudent use of resources. Sundowns is not the only team that's got the budget, but of course, when you win, a lot of players want to play for a winning team. You know, it was the same in the early days of Kaizer Chiefs when they were winning a lot. With Orlando Pirates, everybody wants to be part of a winning team, a winning culture. When you win, you attract a lot of players. When you win, you attract fans. When you win, you attract a lot of good vibes, etc. And they're playing in African Champions League, and every year they gotta make the squad strong enough to play at that level. And as a result, a lot of players want to play in the African Champions League, you know, and they come through and they build a very strong scouting network. I think it's a combination of factors. It's not fair to just say Sundowns are winning because of money. I think it's a combination of factors, but they've really raised the standards in our game, and it's good. It's good to see. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for Rulani. I think they're really setting the standard very high in South African football.
Nah, man, that's really, really good to see. I have to also say, you mentioned Coach Rulani and where you saw him from. At the time, you did see him from as well. I just wanted to find out from you, knowing him from as long as you've known him, and he's already been able to achieve a lot within his career, and people forget that, like, this man is not 50 years old yet. How far can Rulani go? How far can Coach Rulani go? Is it Europe? Is it Saudi maybe? Is it like, how far do you think his ceiling is, considering his age?
Well, I think Rulani will break all forms of records for Coach. I think he's a guy that has got real talent, ability, and hard work, and the success behind him. I think he can coach at the highest level in Europe.
Wow.
He can coach. I always told him that you need to start learning other international languages like French, Portuguese, etc., because he really has the ability to go and coach at any top level in Europe. And he'll come with the background of having coached two of the biggest clubs on the continent, Mamelodi Sundowns, with a lot of success in his early days at Orlando Pirates as well. So I think he'll coach the national team, probably take the national team to a World Cup level.
I believe he's got the capabilities too. Already we've got Betty McCarthy in England. We already got Peter Mswane in Saudi. Bradley Cornell is in the US. So I'm sure he's going to be able to get to those levels. Now, we spoke about this dominance. I don't think we've seen a dominance like this, having to win 6 league titles in a row. The Soweto Giants, man. I mean, Chiefs, Pirates. Where do you think they're getting it wrong? Like, I mean, you would never be able to say in the last 6 years or 7 years or even 10 years, maybe you'd say, like, either team has not been able to win a league title. But why is it that? What are they getting wrong?
You know, trends globally show that, football success and winning streaks and losing streaks are quite cyclical. You would remember that also, if you look at, let's say, for instance, in England, how long it took Manchester United, Liverpool, so they were dominant. And Ferguson, when he came in 1986, somewhere there, he said he wants to knock them off their perch. When Fergie started that, Liverpool were on the margins, really. They weren't winning anything until very late, and now when Klopp had to start winning the league. So you've had other, in other countries, other very big clubs that, got onto a losing streak. In this case, we've got two of our biggest clubs. But Orlando Pirates are almost always thereabout. Last season, they won, a cup double. So these trends do happen. I mean, in France, the biggest club in France is Olympique Marseille. They haven't won a league in a long time as well, since Paris Saint-Germain. So you can almost say PSG is the Sundowns version of France, but Olympique Marseille is the biggest and most supported club in France, and yet they are not winning it. Teams like Saint-Etienne as well. So there are many parallels that which you can draw. If you go to Italy as well, how long it took AC Milan, who were very dominant at some stage, to come back and win the league. They win the league the season before last, but before then they were nowhere. It was Juve. So this sort of things do happen in sport. It's quite cyclical. I mean, you can look at other leagues as well. So there's one where a team could be very dominant for a long time, but the changes always do happen. I think Sundowns and Kaizer Chiefs, Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates, I think they will be a lot more competitive this season. But certainly we need all our big clubs to be very competitive. It's good for the product of football, and it's good for the fans and for the viewers of the sport, I think.
Nah, I totally agree. And especially the fact that Bafana Bafana is going to the AFCON in close time, we obviously need our big teams to be active as well. So I've got 3 quick fire questions for you. So 3 quick fire. Obviously, you've been in the broadcasting space for a long time. What was your favorite game in South African football, I guess, ever? What would you say was your favorite game to broadcast as well?
I mean, I think it was on the 11th of June, 2010. I was anchoring the opening of the 2010 FIFA World Cup, Bafana Bafana against Mexico. I think for me, that game will go down in history. You cannot get any bigger than that. I think it had the highest viewing in terms of TV audience in the history of this country. I was the anchor of that game, so it's number 1 of the many that I have done.
Amazing, amazing. Now, favorite game, we've done that. Favorite player of Walter Moegoe of all time? I mean, in South Africa, I guess, for the South African audience.
I think my favorite player of all time is a guy who was a symbol of Orlando Pirates.
Yeah.
Nick Pazuga Seshweni, number 25. I don't think we've ever seen a player like that play at Orlando Pirates, at least in my generation.
The last question that I have from this thing is, you've been around for a long time. You've done it for a long time. You've garnered that respect. You have my respect as well. What's been your recipe for success?
Well, I think it's just hard work, because when you work hard and you follow your passion, and if you don't cheat yourself, nobody will ever feel cheated by your effort. So always give your best and follow your passion. When your work is your passion, you don't have to work a day in your life. I think it's that it comes through when you love what you do. It gives you love back.
Incredible. Thank you so much, Walter. It's been a pleasure. Like, again, I said that I've got massive respect for you. Every time I've met him all the time, very nice. I don't think I've ever seen you in a bad mood ever. And I've seen you a few times. So I just want to say thank you so much for this. Thank you so much for joining me as well. And I wish you all the best with everything that you do in future, man.
Well, thank you. I mean, you asked me what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
I'm doing my sports book. It's a sports app. So those that want to follow the work that I do, other than the joburgposts.com, they can follow me on mysportsbook.co. It's a sports app that I've built, and there the streaming of sports content, the social media, the scouting for players, for coaches, for everyone in the sports industry. So that's the game that I'm busy with, my sports book. Download, and maybe one day I will interview you, Shakes, on my sports book.
You don't even have to ask, man. Just tell me when, and I'll definitely will be there. I'll also apply as well. I look forward to it. I look forward to potentially being one of the guests as well. I've already downloaded the app. I really appreciate this. I appreciate your support, and I wish you all the best, man.
Thanks, Shakes. I really love how you do your work, man. I love your passion, and that's why when you asked me to be on your show, I said, of course, because I really love your passion. I love your energy. I love your talent. And yeah, I certainly look forward to further engagement with yourself. All the best.
100%. Thank you. Take care, man.
Who was up to par and who became our star, but also who fell short in this game we all love? Let's find out on Moegoe of the Week.
Star of the week, it has to be the log leaders. It has to be the DSTV Premiership champions. Mamelodi Sundowns, their victory over Chipa United. Actually, I think that was the most impressive victory that I've seen of Mamelodi Sundowns this season, just in the way they're able to go from plan A to plan B. That chameleon football, I see it. I don't know which side is definitely going to beat them. The Moegoe. Who is the Moegoe of the week? I'm going to go with Moegoes. That technical bench at Kaizer Chiefs. All of them. For me, they are Moegoes of this week. And with all the wealth of talent that they have, you could clearly see they don't know what they're doing. They've got no idea how to use all those players that was on the pitch. This team from last season that ended, they had over 8 weeks to train for this season. And even until now, game number 4, I still don't know what they're doing. I have no idea what they're doing. So for me, Molefi, Ntseki, Atazwane, Dylan Kerr, and Muscle Man, you guys are my Moegoes of the week.
It's time for Bet of the Week. Get ready to win big by placing the right bets on the right games.
Loads of games to look out for this week. First one, Ludogorets going up against Ajax. I've gone with a double chance, either Ludogorets to win or Ajax to win. Cape Town Spurs, they've not won a single game. They're going up against Chippa United. I've gone with Chippa or a draw. Chelsea against Luton. I'm in Chelsea. You can't mess this one up, right? So I've gone with the Chelsea straight win. And then Arsenal against Fulham. This coming weekend, I've gone with Arsenal to win straight. Manchester United against Forest. As bad as United are, they cannot lose this game. United to win straight. Newcastle against Liverpool. Newcastle or draw and over 1.5. Yes, I don't see Newcastle losing this game. The odds 6.32. The most I can win is 2,400 Rand. If you want to win with me, click on the link below.
Remember to practice responsible betting at betway.co.za.
We've come to the end of the show. Hey, it flew, hey? Tell me, I think Sundowns will win this league in March. What do you think? Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified for future episodes.